Welcome back to the Ancestral Findings podcast. When people start tracing their family lines, one of the first surprises they find is how many of us have Scottish roots. If your family has been in North America for more than a few generations, there's a good chance some branch of your tree reaches back to Scotland, a land of rugged beauty, ancient clans, and proud tradition. From the Highlands and Islands to the Lowlands and cities like Glasgow and Edinburgh, the Scots carried their education, faith, and determination wherever they went. And when they came to America, Canada, and beyond, they helped shape everything from our towns and churches to our music and storytelling. Today, we'll explore where those Scottish ancestors came from, what records can help you find them, and what clues might already be sitting quietly in your own family stories. To understand Scottish ancestry, picture the country itself. Mountains and glens in the north, rolling farmland in the south, sea mist on the coasts, a landscape both beautiful and demanding. The Highlands remained traditional far longer than most of Europe. Gaelic was the everyday language, and families lived in tight-knit communities tied to powerful clans. The Lowlands, closer to England, developed a different rhythm: trade, cities, universities, and an early printing press. So when we talk about Scottish people, we're really talking about two very different worlds within one small nation. Those differences shaped the kinds of ancestors who left, some for adventure, others out of necessity. By the late 1700s, change came hard and fast. Highland landowners began replacing tenant farmers with large sheep farms. Entire villages were cleared in what history calls the Highland clearances. Families who had lived on the same land for centuries suddenly found themselves without homes. Some crossed the Atlantic to Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and the Carolinas. Others crowded into industrial towns like Glasgow, hoping for work. They carried little but their faith, their language, and their songs. Even now, generations later, many Scottish descendants describe an odd longing for a place they've never seen, the homeland that still speaks through memory. Meanwhile, many lowlanders left for different reasons. In the early 1600s, thousands moved to Northern Ireland during the plantation of Ulster. Over the next century, their descendants, known later as the Scotch-Irish, began sailing to America. They settled first in Pennsylvania, then spread south into Virginia and the Appalachian frontier. If your early American ancestors were Presbyterian or lived in the Blue Ridge, the Ozarks, or the Tennessee Hills, there's a good chance you have Scotch-Irish roots. These settlers brought with them a spirit of self-reliance and a love of learning that left a deep mark on American culture. When you start digging into Scottish genealogy, you'll quickly run into the word clan. It's more than a family name. It's a system of belonging. A clan was a community united under a chief. Not everyone with the same surname was related by blood. Tenants or allies often adopted the clan name for protection or loyalty. That's why tracing your clan can help locate the region your family came from, even if you're not directly descended from a chief. If you know your family name, look up its clan connection. The Standing Council of Scottish Chiefs and the Scottish Register of Tartans both offer detailed histories that show how names and regions fit together. And remember, Scottish naming traditions can help you build your family tree too. For centuries, the first son was named after the father's father, the second after the mother's father, the first daughter after the mother's mother, and the second after the father's mother. When you spot these repeating names in old records, you may be looking at a pattern passed down for generations. Scotland is one of the best documented countries in the world for genealogy, and much of it is online. The official website scotlandspeople.gov.uk is the key to almost everything. It holds parish registers, civil records, censuses, wills, and land documents reaching back hundreds of years. If you're researching from afar, here's where to begin. Parish registers. The old parish registers of the Church of Scotland go back to the 1500s and record baptisms, marriages, and burials. Civil registration. Starting in 1855, Scotland began recording every birth, marriage, and death with remarkable detail, often including both parents' names. Census records. From 1841 onward, every 10 years, the census listed names, ages, occupations, and birthplaces, an invaluable map of family movement. Wills and testaments. These records tell you what people owned and who they left it to. They can link multiple generations in a single document. Land and valuation records. If your ancestors farmed or owned property, the Sassine registers can trace that land through centuries of ownership. Each of these record types builds part of the puzzle, and together they paint a picture of where your family began. The story of Scottish emigration stretches over hundreds of years. Lowlanders in the 1600s, Highlanders after the clearances, skilled workers and artisans in the 1800s, ships left from ports like Glasgow, Leith, and Greenock. The voyage could last 6 weeks or more. Families traveled with neighbors, forming tight communities that would later rebuild themselves in new lands. In Canada, many Scots settled in Nova Scotia, New Scotland, as well as Cape Breton and Prince Edward Island. In the United States, Highlanders built strong communities in North Carolina and South Carolina, while others went inland to the frontier. Wherever they went, Scots brought literacy, craftsmanship, and a devotion to education that shaped entire regions. If your ancestors left Scotland, start by tracing them from where they arrived. Check early land records, church registers, and township maps. Many still bear unmistakably Scottish names. Passenger lists from Glasgow or Belfast often name entire families traveling together. If you find a group of households with the same surname arriving at once, you may have located a cluster from the same parish back home. And today, DNA testing can connect you even further. Modern results can link you to genetic clusters in Argyll, the Hebrides, or Aberdeenshire, even to specific clan projects that track male line or maternal descent. Sometimes you don't need a document to tell you where your roots lie. Family stories, heirlooms, or even a sense of character can reveal it. Maybe someone in your family always spoke of a Scotch grandmother. Maybe there's an old photograph, a tartan ribbon, or a Bible with faint handwriting inside the cover. Maybe your great-grandfather's first name, Angus, Malcolm, or Duncan, echoes a tradition passed down unconsciously through time. These small things matter. They're the breadcrumbs that often lead to records you never knew existed. The Scottish story is one of endurance. From the days of the clans to the ships that carried families to the New World, the Scots adapted and built wherever they went. They became teachers, engineers, farmers, and ministers. They carried the Presbyterian Church into the frontier, founded schools, and helped shape the principles of democracy and education that still define many nations today. When you research your Scottish ancestry, you're doing more than tracing names. You're reconnecting with a worldview built on faith, learning, and determination, a spirit that endures wherever Scottish descendants live. Do you have Scottish ancestors? Have you uncovered your family's clan, an old ship record, or a story that links your name to the Highlands or Lowlands? I'd love to hear from you. Share your discoveries in the comments on YouTube or Facebook, and join others exploring their Scottish roots as part of Journeys of Our Ancestors. Each shared story helps preserve the past and adds another voice to the long, proud song of Scotland's people. If you've got a hard-to-find ancestor you're stuck on, I'd love to hear about it. Just head over to ancestralfindings.com and click on Contact to send me a message. While you're there, take advantage of our free weekly genealogy lookups. Explore thousands of articles and enjoy hundreds of podcast episodes. We've been helping family history researchers since 1995. And if you're looking for even more, check out our Genealogy Gold Q&A series over on Patreon. Thanks for listening, and as always, happy searching.